Welcome to Roll-o-Matic's webinar on Rollwinder. My name is Jesper Petersen. I'm sales manager and I'll be your host today. I'm joined with our technical director, John Bug Jensen, who will participate a bit later on in the session. Some quick announcements. We have a lot of participants on today, so for practical reasons, you're all muted. If you do want to ask a question, feel free to do so in the Q&A area. We will go through some of the questions at the end of the webinar. You're welcome to ask the questions anonymously if you prefer that. The webinar will be recorded and we will share a link to the video as well as collect all incoming questions and share the response afterwards with all participants. Looking at our agenda for today, we'll just have a quick introduction on our RV series. Then we will show you a video RV built with some specific options and features, and then we'll finish off with a Q&A section. As you see, we have a wide range of winding solutions for bag machines and industrial film. We have solutions for winding of small diameter with a lot of roll changes per minute. We have solutions for 1, 2, and multiple lanes. And most of our winders are able to run with and without cores. They can be installed in line with other processes as well. Moreover, we have an option for interleaved or overlapping winding as well. Today we'll focus on our large roll winder series. The RV series is designed for winding of industrial film, nonwoven, and similar webs. It's mainly suitable for medium and heavy gauge film, generally for the agricultural and construction industries. It's able to run both with core and coreless. The RV can be set up in line with extrusion or out of line with an unwinder. It's available in 3 different widths, 1600, 2000, and 2200 millimeters. We have recently built an RV 2000 for a client in Germany with some customized features, and we made a short video of that. The video will take approximately 5 minutes. Feel free to type in any questions you have during the video.
Welcome to the Roll-o-Matic workshop. As you can see, we have many different roll bags in production. But today we will focus on the roll winder behind me. I'm joined with Carsten, our service technician. The roll winder is built for one of our clients in Germany, and they have limited space in their facility. So I'll just show you on the layout how everything is set up. The line will run in line with an extrusion where the film will come through the accumulator, which is placed on the first floor, go through the accumulator, down through the ceiling, where we'll find an edge guide, further on into the roll winder where the rolls will be wound. The roll winder is very flexible, so you can run many different kinds of film and non-woven material. You're able to run both core and coreless. Carsten, how long time does it take to change from core to coreless production?
A half hour, but come let me show you. We are opening the machine here, and here you have the chucks. This is for cores, and we change it to this without cores.
What core dimensions are you able to run?
We can run from 1.5 to 3 inches. This one is 3 inches.
What is the possible range of film width?
You can run from 500 millimeters to 2 meters. And we adjust it electronically each side, so you always get the center of the lane.
And this can be done during production?
Yes, doing it on the panel. Here you adjust the chucks, and here you adjust the core magazine.
Can you please start up the machine, Carsten?
Yes.
Another interesting feature of this line is the conveyor belt, where you load the cores. Carsten, can you please show how the loading is done?
Yes, in the front. The cores are loaded here, and you just press here. One press, one step, longer press, it's run like this.
Another feature that's much appreciated by our clients is the cut of the film. It is done in a stop position, and you get the right angle on the web. You see the cut here, clean cut, even on heavy gauge film. The next thing we will show you is how the automatic roll change is done. Follow me. Here you see how the roll change is done. It's made fully automatic and without any need for pre-gluing. We have the possibility of closing the rolls with tape on each side, as you can see here. Carsten, are you able to change the tape during production?
This is not a problem. You can always go into the machine, take it out, change, put it back in, close, and reset the machine.
Thank you, Carsten, for your help and assistance, and thank you for watching.
That brings us on to our Q&A section, and I'm now joined with John Buch Jensen, our technical director. And we already have a bunch of questions come in. The first one we can take off. What is the max minimum speed for the RV?
Well, the minimum speed is normally down to 5 meters per minute and would normally be used when you're running heavy gauge material in line with an extruder. Maximum speed is 120 meters per minute. If you lower the number of roll changes, it could be possible to go up to 150 meters per minute.
Next question we have, will it be possible to move the winder between our extruder?
Yes, it is possible. We have made rail systems for a number of customers so they can move the winder between different positions.
We have a question on what is the minimum width the winder can run?
We have the three widths of winders, but they all have the same minimum width of 500 millimeter. So depending a little on if you're running with tape and where you want to position the tape, then the minimum width could go down to 500 millimeter.
Okay. Another question here, will the winder need a constant film speed when it comes from the extruder?
Yes, there is an inlet nip on the winder, and it can run either electrical gear with the extruder in front of it, or it can run tension control. But it always run with a constant speed going into the inlet nip.
Next question is, do the cores need to be pre-glued to make the roll change?
No, none of our winders actually need glue on the core. They all use non-glued cores. On the RV, we're using fingers to bring the film around when we start up, as you also could see on the video.
Questions on core loading, whether it has to be done one by one as shown in the video, or it can be loaded from a batch.
The core loading shown on this video here is actually a new system made for this customer here. It would also be offered as standard feature, of course, for the future. But here you can load the cores one by one from the front of the winder and from the ground floor. You can also use the standard method where we normally lift up a whole pallet of cores to the first floor, where there would be a platform next to the core magazine, and then you can load it from there. So there's various options for loading the cores.
Well, we have more of a commercial question on what is the cost of a winder. The starting price or list price for the RV series is 200,000 euros, all depending on the exact specifications and requirement of the given model. Next question is whether it's available from stock, and it's not a stock item. It's say delivery time at the moment is around 20 weeks, but again it all depends on the exact requirement of the winder. Another question, whether the winder can run perforated film and make the roll change in the perforation.
Yes, that is also a standard option. The winder can be equipped with spark detection system and make an indexed roll change where it breaks the perforation instead of cutting the film.
Okay. I have another one which says, when I go from 15 micron HD to 4 times 400 micron LD, how long time will it take to change the winder?
Well, it depends a little on if you're going to change paper core to non-paper core or other changes at the same time. But you can do most changeovers in less than half an hour.
Another question here, what is the minimum maximal wall thickness of the cores which can be used?
It depends on the width of the core you're going to use. If you are using, let's say, a 2 meter wide core, you need a certain strength in the core, and there you would need a thicker wall. The thinnest we normally recommend is about 3 millimeter, and then it can actually handle up to 18 millimeter thickness on the core. Most of the cores would be in the range from 3 millimeter and up to 5-6 millimeter. And for the full width, maybe 8 and up to 10 millimeter cores.
Good. Another question here, will the winder stop if you forget to change the tape roll in due time?
It can actually be programmed, so you can decide either if you want the winder to stop or you just want a warning signal. So you can go and change the tape when you get the warning signal. When you actually change the tape, the winder cannot make an automatic roll change while you are opening up the doors. So as soon as you have changed the tape and push the reset button, then you can make roll changes again.
Okay.
But of course, it continues to run film all the time.
Yeah. Then another question here, what is the max film thickness when running offline you can run, and can we go higher with an inline solution?
Yes, we actually can. In principle, we can run the same thickness offline as inline with an extruder, but the major difference is the temperature on the film. Inline with the extruder, the film is much softer and it's easier to fold and easier to make a tight roll. So for inline applications, we quite often run up to 4 times 500 micron. But for out of line, it depends on the roll quality that you present to the machine and also the roll quality you want out of the machine. But in most cases, we would say that the limit would be around 300 micron.
Okay. And we have a question on footprint. What's the length of the machine?
Again, it depends on what equipment you have with the machine. If we take the machine here in the video, it is equipped with a front-mounted core loading system, and it also has a table in front of the machine. But the shortest you can have where you have everything in one level would be approximately 4 meters. If you have less space than that, it would also be possible to put the accumulator on the first floor, like it's actually done with this line here.
Then we have a question on, can you run your rewinder in connection with a cast extruder, or should it be a blown film extruder?
No, it certainly can be with a cast extruder. We have done that a number of times.
Next one is, which material is recommended for this winder?
Well, there's not really a certain material that's recommended, but most of the film being being converted on this winder would be construction film or agricultural film. It could also be non-woven. It could be for roofing, etc. So there's a number of types of films that could be produced in this one.
Mm-hmm. Now we have a question on, how often do you need to service the line?
There's not really much that actually wear on this winder here. It's built very robust for heavy gauge materials and for running 24/7. So there's basically timing belts with a long lifetime. There's some cleaning to do if you have a lot of dust from your paper cores, but that's almost all you have to do.
We have a question here. Can I wind bags on the winder?
Yeah, you can wind bags. Of course, it depends on what bag lengths and what sealing equipment you install in front of this one. But just by adding the spark detection system, you can separate the bags at the number of bags you want to put per roll. So you certainly can run bags, and that would mostly be industrial sacks.
And again, we have another question on speed. What's the minimum speed? Can you run 20 meters per minute or below?
Yeah, we can run down to approximately 5 meters a minute.
We have a question on, what's the max diameter of the tape roll?
We can run up to 200 millimeter diameter tape.
And a question on max weight of the rolls?
There's a number of options there. We do have RW winders where it's a pneumatic lifting system, and we also have electrical lifting systems for very heavy gauge rolls. So if you take a roll of 500 millimeter diameter in 2.2 meter width, you are way over 100 kilo, and that's no problem. And that would be the electric lift system.
Yeah. Then there's a question, how do you control the tension in the web?
There's two ways to control the tension coming into the machine. And that is either by electrical gearing to the equipment in front or by tension control. If you talk about the tension in the winder itself for the finished roll, that is by weights on the accumulator dancer in combination with a pneumatic system on the dancer as well. And then you can control the tension directly on the finished roll.
Okay. Then question on the taping unit. Do you need to, can it run with one taping unit only, or do you need two?
It can run with one, but of course, if it's a very narrow roll, it will be fine with one. But we actually recommend to run with two taping units for most of the longer rolls, so you can tape close to the ends. And the taping units, they are adjustable, so you can position them where you want them.
Okay. And we have a question whether it can handle 40 feet U-folded material like greenhouse.
Yes, yes, it can. That would be possible.
And a question whether we collaborate with the packing machine manufacturer.
Yes, we have been supplying those RW winders together with a number of different packaging equipment after. So we have worked together with a number of packaging companies.
Question whether we can split a tubular film in 2 layers and run 2 winders inline.
Yeah, that is actually also an option. We have customers that are using two winders after one extruder, where they side slit the lay flat, and then it is wound single seated on two winders. So that's also an option.
Then we have a question from an existing client. I have an approximately 15-year-old winder which is without the automatically adjustment. Can it be retrofitted?
Yes, we actually have kits, so it could be retrofitted on the older winders as well. So that would be possible. It depends a little on which year, exactly how much would need to be changed, but it certainly is possible.
Then we have a question on the key advantages of the winder compared to the competition.
Well, it is built to run heavy gauge materials, medium gauge, and that is where it has its strengths. It makes a very clean cut, and it has a good tension control, so you get nice, firm, even rolls with a nice cut. And those would be one of the main features. The other thing is that it can run both with and without cores, and it takes very little time to switch between the two of them. So most of the competition run either with core or without core.
Okay. Then we have a question: how many 50 meter length rolls per hour can this winder do?
Well, then we'll have to do a little calculation, but it can make 4 roll changes per minute, and normal maximum speed would be 120 meters a minute. So you can calculate the volume from that.
Yeah. And then a question whether it's possible to add equipment like banana rolls.
Yeah, then most of the banana, the film used for banana rolls would be with holes in, and by adding hole punch equipment, then you can make film for that as well.
And next one is: do you also offer perforation unit? I mean, 10 sheets per roll, for example.
Yeah, we do have servo-driven perforation systems that can be installed in front of the winder, so that's also an option.
Yeah. And then I think we have time for the last question for today. How do you handle the closures on roofing membranes on the beginning of film?
Let me just get it. How do you handle it? I'm not sure if I understand that question completely.
No.
I think it is the start of the roll here that's being asked for, and that would be with the fingers bringing the film around the core. If that is the question.
Yeah. Good. We can always sum up on that.
Yes, if it's not the correct question or answer, then please send it to us again.
Yeah. We have just one last question then. You said it performs best with the thicker gauge. From what thickness would you say the performance lowers and excels?
We have used it down to approximately 20 micron, and we can go lower than that, but since everything is very heavy duty on this one here, there's also quite a bit of mass of inertia, and therefore it could be difficult to control the tension on very thin materials. So normally we would say about 20 micron.
Okay, thank you very much, John. Then that was all for today. Thank you very much for participating. You are of course welcome to visit our website and find more information on the roll winders, or alternatively you can contact me. My email is shown on the screen right now. You're also encouraged, if you're not already signed up to our newsletter, feel free to do so on our webpage as well. And thank you very much for participating.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.